Sparked the FBI's investigation into Russia.
The New York Times is reporting what a former Trump campaign advisor is alleged to have told an Australian diplomat during a night of heavy drinking. ABC's David Wright is in West Palm Beach for us this morning. David, how significant is this reporting?
Good morning, Paula and Dan. This Times story is potentially very significant because it suggests that what launched the FBI probe into Russian meddling was credible intelligence from a trusted foreign ally. It was at this London wine bar, according to the Times, that a former Trump campaign advisor first told a top Australian diplomat that Russia had political dirt on Hillary Clinton. May of 2016, 2 months before hacked DNC emails started to emerge online, former Trump advisor George Papadopoulus reportedly made the startling revelation to Australia's ambassador to Great Britain during a night of heavy drinking. The Australians ultimately passed that tip along to U.S. authorities, according to the newspaper, and that piece of intelligence is what prompted the FBI to launch its investigation. Papadopoulos, who recently pled guilty to lying to the FBI, was part of the Trump campaign's national security and foreign policy team, seen here meeting with candidate Trump. The president posted a picture of that meeting at the time, but later disavowed it.
I don't remember much about that meeting. It was a very unimportant meeting.
As for Papadopoulos himself, Trump insisted few people knew the young, low-level volunteer named George, who has already proven to be a liar. But Papadopoulos was trusted enough to edit an early draft of the candidate's first big foreign policy speech, where he outlined his America First approach.
I believe an easing of tensions and improved relations with Russia from a position of strength only is possible, absolutely possible.
Papadopoulos' fiancée told George Stephanopoulos all of the work he did on behalf of the Trump campaign was coordinated with top campaign officials.
He never took any initiative without the blessing of the campaign.
And you believe that he can demonstrate that?
Absolutely, yes.
The president's lawyer declined to comment to ABC News about the Times story out of respect for the special counsel and his process. Now, assuming that the Times story is correct, it would mean that the match that lit the fuse of the Russia probe was not that dodgy dossier compiled by an ex-British spy and paid for by the Democrats, but rather was a source inside the Trump campaign itself.
And David, before we let you go, according to the New York Times reporting as well, Papadopoulos also fell out of favor with the campaign shortly after that reported meeting with the Australian diplomat. What can you tell us?
Well, there's no question that he was a small player in the Trump campaign, but just how small is a matter of question at this point. The Trump campaign, ever since he pled guilty, has been eager to portray him as somebody who is pretty much just a coffee boy. But his wife, as you heard, talked to George Stephanopoulos and suggested that he was in touch with Steve Bannon and Michael Flynn all the way throughout the campaign. Paula?
All right, a lot to flesh out. David Wright, thanks for your reporting from Florida this morning. For more from the political sphere, let's bring in our chief global affairs correspondent, Martha Raddatz, who is in Washington. She is busy getting ready to host this week a little bit later this morning. Martha, Happy New Year to you, by the way. I would be remiss.
Same to all of you.
So there's so much focus on the question of whether there was collusion between Team Trump and Russia, but it's often overlooked that Russia continues to indiscriminately target American elections. How serious is this threat?
It remains a very, very serious threat. It's something the FBI looks at, others look at. They want to know what Russia is up to, whether they're trying to influence people here, people who may not know they're even trying to be influenced, whether they're trying to hit social media, and whether they continue to try to hack. And I am pretty sure that is something the Russians will continue to try to do with the midterms coming up.
Yeah, a lot of people worried about that, and as you point out, not enough focus on it. Speaking of focus, you're going to be focusing this morning a lot on foreign policy. One of the huge issues looming right now on the foreign policy front is North Korea. On Twitter over the holidays, the president has been accusing China of secretly shipping oil to the North Koreans. How do you see this crisis unfolding in the coming year?
You know, Paul and Dad, this will be the single biggest year with the North Korean conflict, because I think there is no doubt that this year you will see North Korea perfect an ICBM that is capable of carrying a nuclear weapon. This is what they have been trying to do for decades, and this will probably be the year that President Trump has to make some decisions about what to do about that. Whether North Korea does an atmospheric nuclear test is also something we have to watch. We've seen the last year all kinds of threats from both sides, but this is the year, I believe, that President Trump will have to make a decision about what to do.
This thing could be coming to a head. The stakes could not be higher. Martha, we really appreciate your analysis.
Thanks, Martha.
On this Sunday morning.
You bet.
And coming
Happy
up,
New Year.
Thank you.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.